Everybody was actually excited to see you make your debut as Tommy on Jane by Design. Tell us how happy are you to be part of the cast now?
I'm stoked. I mean, we shot it a little while ago, and now to see everything air is really, really exciting. And we got such a great cast and such a great team of producers and April and Gavin and everyone is so different, but so perfect in their own way. It's exciting. We got some really great directors too, which is a treat.
So I know you can't really tell us much, but tell us a little bit like what's Tommy up to, or what can we expect from your character to come?
You can expect some more bad decisions, some more fun. It's pretty unpredictable, He got some things up his sleeve.
And then are you going to be on the upcoming episode of Jane by Design coming up?
Yeah, I think I'm in this next app, and then I think I take a week off, and then I'm in the last two.
Very nice. So you have to tell us, how did you like working with your little bro, Billy, on the show, Nick Rue?
Oh, Nick is awesome. He's one of the coolest dudes ever. His maturity is well beyond his years, and he gives you so much to play off of. He's just a really talented actor, good-looking guy, and he makes it really, really easy and really fun. And from the moment I met him, on set, I'm like, oh my God, dude, we could totally be brothers, we should totally hang out, so the chemistry was instantaneous, and that's really, really good, I think.
But possible, it shows on screen what we see on Jane by Design. We love it, so.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And then do you all get a chance to hang out on and off set?
Yeah, we've hung out a couple times. It's been kind of crazy because, with the holidays and we finished up shooting, and I went home to Cleveland, and then I was in, Sundance for the film festival, and so we haven't had a lot of time to hang, but we definitely, all of us hung out. I actually had a big Halloween party, which we do annually, and most of the cast was out there. Darius and Dash and Megan and Nick and Atkinson, the whole group.
Very nice. And speaking of Sundance, now we actually have to ask you about John Dies at the End. Tell us a little bit about that.
So John Dies is Jane by Design too, but the most fun I've ever had doing a film. I play this crazy dude who's this adrenaline junkie, adventure-seeking funny man who, may or may not actually have ever physically existed. I think he may have only existed in the mind of David Long, played by Chase Williamson. And, Chase's character, David, is so screwed up. I think in the book he gets kicked out of grade school for stabbing some kid in the eye with a pen or a pencil.
Lovely.
Just from that little incident, you could tell there's something a little bit awry with this kid's mind. And there's so much that hints to our relationship that goes back to the earliest years of our lives that I think maybe this kid kind of didn't have a lot of friends, struggled with depression and some mental issues, and tried to create this character, this friend, this guy who doesn't really exist. He's this imaginary friend who he thinks is way cooler than himself, but because of his own, neuroses and such, ends up creating this dude who is cool, but is even more screwed up than himself.
Interesting. So we have to ask, soy sauce, a good thing or bad thing?
Soy sauce, a good thing or bad thing? Well, I like sushi. I think that so long as you're going with the low sodium type, you're probably in the clear. Soy sauce is, it's kind of a complicated drug. It's this new thing that hits the streets. It's part living substance, part an acid / heroin kind of a drug that completely takes control of your body and your mind and soul, and ultimately allows these portals, these doors, these windows to open that allow you to get transported into different dimensions that exist in these parallel universes that we otherwise don't know exist. And there's evidence that these worlds exist alongside us, and we just don't have the wherewithal to experience them without the use of this drug. So it's kind of enlightening, but at the same time, it's extremely terrifying. You could have just crazy hallucinations, or are they, is it real? You don't really know.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. What was the fans' reactions at Sundance after seeing the film?
The reaction was really strong. I didn't know what to expect. Really, none of us did, because I hadn't seen the picture, Chase hadn't seen it, none of the cast had really seen the movie. To see it at one of the top film festivals in the world, with an audience that knows Don Coscarelli's work really well, and we're fans of Jason Park and the novel. It was really, really supportive, and you almost get choked up, while you're kind of almost having a heart attack because you're so nervous to see the freaking final product. But people went nuts. After the opening credits came up, the opening title sequence, people were on their feet, like screaming and cheering and laughing and just going crazy.
So pretty much just expect the unexpected, right?
Expect the unexpected. That is well put, yes.
Okay, And I bet, the number one question you get nonstop is, does John die at the end, This is one thing everybody
I've never gotten that question. I've never heard that question.
Oh, really?
That is the question. And I think that's something that, one as an audience member has to ask themselves.
Very interesting. And then how'd you like working with Paul Giamatti? It must have been an honor.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you, growing up, you watch all these movies, and I remember watching Sideways for the first time and being like, what is Pinot Noir, and who is this, short, funny man who loves wine? And I fell in love with the movie, and I fell in love with Giamatti's comedy and just him, and he becomes such an icon. He's one of the finest actors, ever. And I had no idea that he was actually a part of the film when I signed on. And Chase, in passing, kind of was like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, Paul Giamatti is in the movie." I was like, "What, dude? Are you kidding me? He's one of my favorite actors. That's insane." It was a real treat, and I still feel like it was, kind of a dream that it wasn't real.
Yeah, if you could work.
Maybe that's because I was on a soy sauce.
If you could work with anybody, he has such talent.
Oh my God, yeah. But not even. Giamatti, sure, but Clancy Brown too. It goes back to one of our other favorite movies, Shawshank Redemption, and having Clancy playing that mean, tough, commanding prison guard, and then to see him in, such a goofy role, it's cool, to grow up and, see these movies and think that, it's so otherworldly, and then to be doing a movie that is otherworldly with these actors whose talent is otherworldly is pretty kick-ass.
Very neat. And we actually have to talk about also one of our other favorite movies that you were in, which is The American Mall. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you like working on that?
That was another one that was pretty crazy because, I auditioned in New York, years ago, and they ended up having the final callbacks out in L.A., and there was 2 or 3 long, intense days of dance and singing, acting, all this stuff, and there were so many people who were up for the roles that I easily could have freaked myself out, I think, and blown it. But I said to myself, you know what? These are cool people. It's fun material. There's all these beautiful girls around, and all these talented dudes who are singing and dancing and playing music. I play music. I was like, let's just chat and have fun and just see where it takes us. And the funny thing is now, some of my closest friends were actually the guys who were up, for the role with me, for the role of Joey. And, once I got the movie, to find out that Nina was doing it, it was beautiful, and, another one of, the most talented actresses out there. Playing opposite her and Autumn Reeser was a real treat, and, to be behind, have the producers of High School Musical behind us was a lot of support, a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's, again, like I said, one of our favorite movies. We could watch it over and over. The music's phenomenal in there, everything, and we couldn't have picked a better Joey. You make the perfect Joey for the movie.
Aw, thank you.
Absolutely. They need to make a second one, a part 2. That would be nice.
I would love to do a second one. I'm still waiting for the call, you know. I'm down.
That should happen. Definitely talk with the writers, make something happen.
I'm gonna call Bill Border right now.
You should. That would be nice, and I think a lot of people would want to see it.
Let's conference them in.
Yeah. That would be nice. And then, so you kind of do your own music thing as well? Is that how you got started into that? Are you working on anything new yourself?
Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of new stuff, actually. I initially moved to New York, so I wanted to do theater. You know, I thought I would do Broadway and then TV and then film, you know, years later. I have no idea, like, what my you know, personal progression and evolution, you know, in the industry would be. But when I heard about this American Mall, it's like, that's pretty sweet, you know, because I sing, I write music, you know, I play instruments, I play piano and guitar, and I obviously act, but I didn't dance, and so that was kind of a struggle for me, which I think I was able to kind of finagle. But, I play a lot of music. I put out an album, like, I don't know how many years ago now, 5, 6, 7 years ago, called Glimpses of Truth, which you can get on iTunes. You know, some of the songs on there are better than others. It was kind of an experimental thing that I wanted to produce myself. I brought in a bunch of great studio musicians to play on it with me, and you know, kind of wanted control over the whole thing. And in hindsight, you know, I probably wouldn't do that again. When I got my next record, you know, I'm definitely gonna relinquish that control over a lot of it. You know, bring the songs and the structure to it, and you know, the energy. And then, you know, have someone else produce it, engineer it, you know, so on and so forth. But, yeah, I'm working on a lot of music now. I played a show at the late Cafe it was here in Hollywood not too long ago before it closed down, and just been writing with a lot of other really great artists. So, you know, hopefully I'll get in the studio soon and have another record to share with you guys.
Very nice. Yeah, you should definitely kind of do like a tour once you start working on that a little bit more. That would be nice. I'm sure a lot of fans would like to see that.
So fun. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Absolutely. That'd be so neat. And so tell us, what do you like to do when you're not acting and singing in your spare time?
Well, you know, like, one of the first things I do, like, at the end of the day, to decompress is just literally I sit down at the piano and just, like, play some music, you know, and that music is the thing in life, you know, besides, you know, like, honesty and love that means the most to me. And I think that you find those two things that you can in music, you know, inherently, and that's why it's so important to me. But, you know, I love to surf, and, you know, I got a couple of bikes that I like to ride, and I like to travel, and I like to read. Just have a good time, you know, meet new people and create new experiences and live.
Awesome. Sounds like fun. And first off, we're going to ask you real quick, tell us your favorite fast food restaurant.
Favorite fast food restaurant? That's interesting. You know, I've actually been recently, like, I moved into this house, and it's got this really crazy big kitchen. So I've been cooking a lot. Like, I know how to cook fish and steak now, and, like, French fries. I can make a really great salad. So I cook a lot myself, and my roommates as well. But, you know, I don't know, when I'm on the go, like, you know, I'll stop in at Quiznos. You know, I'll get an Italian combo.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because a lot of your tweets here related with food. We saw sourdough bread is just wonderful. It's definitely...
A lot of my tweets, that's so funny.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. It's definitely a wonderful contradiction.
That's hilarious.
And then I totally agree. You tweeted also, why is there so much salt in every food? That is very true. Very discussable topic, for sure.
And that's a whole other discussion that we could have. I mean, you know, nowadays with, like, I forget what the percentage of, you know, people internationally with hypertension is, but, you know, a lot of it I think is caused, well, stress, sure, but a lot of it's from salt. Like, there's so much freaking salt in everything, you know.
I know.
Which is why I kind of started cooking myself, you know, because it's so easy to have thousands and thousands of milligrams of salt, you know, sodium a day, and it kills you.
Because you don't realize what you're eating out there. It's really not good for you.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't taste it. You don't sense it. You know, the next thing you know, you get high blood pressure. It's a scary thing.
Exactly, it's not good. And then also we're going to go through some of your other tweets, which we love them, by the way. Diluted liquid soap, a possible band name. We like that one.
It's funny. I started this thing, I don't know, a year or 2, 3 years ago, whenever it was. Potential band names. I don't know where it came, out of my head, but every time I would hear something ironic or strange or just funny sounding or weird, I would tweet it, and it kind of became like this thing where, my friends, if they were trying to insinuate something and within a text or within a tweet, they would add potential band name. It had nothing to do with the potential band name to begin with, but I don't know, it's something funny that I started that I guess kind of continues.
Well, tell us what inspires your tweets. What goes through your mind exactly before you hit send on your phone? Anything?
Mainly thoughts.
Uh-huh. Just random whatever you're going through or something?
So what goes through my head is okay, I've got these ideas, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to, oh, shoot, should I have said that? Okay, I hope I don't get some flack for that. But I think so far I'm okay.
Uh-huh. They're pretty funny, but how do you like using Twitter overall? Are you a fan?
I must say, at first, I heard the word Twitter, and I was like, are you kidding me? What is this? Is this some, I don't know, thing that you get at Claire's and is makeup for young girls? I had no idea what it was. And then when I found out what it was 140 characters or less. Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh.
And that's got to be incredibly stifling. But then I thought, actually, and I remember even back to my years at school, it's always say what you're trying to get across in as few words as possible. And, don't fluff it with all these words and all this nonsense. Just to get to the point and just be straight. And that's, it's kind of cool that you can do that through this thing called Twitter now. Share with the world what's on your mind, what's coming out, projects, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Like you said, the shorter the message, the greater the impact, though, right? I mean, it could take just one word, and it can impact so many people.
Yes, that's exactly. My brother was telling me, I can't confirm this, but he said that I think John Mayer actually got off because he was saying Twitter, now that I'm only allowed 140 characters or less, he's like, I'm actually having difficulty constructing full thoughts and sentences in my head and in my speech, in my day-to-day interactions with people. He's like, everything seems to be like a choppy tweet, even in my conversation, which I thought was interesting. So I'm anxious to see, or excited to see, looking forward to see, or maybe weary of seeing, what Twitter does to, to the collective, consciousness of society.
Exactly. I mean, people are kind of living through hashtags. I mean, they just want to just hashtag everything and just put everything in tags. You know what I mean, or tweets.
I know. It's really something.
Exactly. And then, is there anything else you'd like to tell your fans out there? Anything else we can expect from you, or to follow you on Twitter as well?
Yeah, please. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. Easy to do, at Rob C. Mays. I've got another movie that I'm excited about that hopefully we'll be hearing more about soon, called Burning Blue, which is about fighter pilots in the Navy, based on a play that debuted in the West End 15 years ago and then ran all over the world. And we got a really great cast. Kenny Blanchard's in it, Trent Ford, and Michael Ciro, and Cotter Smith, Michael Kumsky, William Lee Scott. List goes, so many great actors, really great material, and it's completely different from, really anything else that I've done. It's a really dramatic role. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. And I start shooting this Hallmark movie, actually, next week, called Mom. And I'm pretty stoked about that, too. So, there's a bunch of stuff that's upcoming. And, I'll share it with you as it arrives.
Okay, sounds interesting. Yeah, just the title Mom. It can go in so many different directions. You're wondering, what's the movie going to be about? So that's neat.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Well, looking forward to it.
Thank you, as am I.